Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are going to get into 5 really powerful, totally natural ways you can sharpen your memory. And the best part? These are all simple habits you can start, well, right now. So, does any of this sound familiar? You know that feeling, that frantic search for your keys when you're already late? Or that little stomach drop when you realize you completely forgot an appointment? Yeah, we've all been there. And while a little forgetfulness is totally normal, it's also a little nudge that our brain could use some love. But this is bigger than just those small, everyday frustrations. If we zoom out and look at the global picture, the stakes are way, way higher. Back in 2021, about 57 million people around the world were living with dementia. That number really puts into perspective just how important brain health is for all of us. And that number isn't standing still. We're seeing about 10 million new cases every single year, which means that prevention is more crucial than it has ever been. But here's the good news, and it's really good news. You don't need some expensive, complicated treatment. As we're about to see, some of the absolute best strategies are just simple, everyday habits. Okay, let's jump right into our first tip. Get moving. I know, it might sound a little obvious, but the link between moving your body and firing up your mind is so much more direct than you probably think. We tend to focus on exercise for our bodies, right? But it's honestly one of the most powerful tools we have for our brains. And check this out. This quote from a 2024 study is so cool because you can just feel the excitement from the researchers. They found that physical activity can literally rejuvenate the brain's own immune cells, actually reversing some of the damage that comes with aging. I mean, that is a total game changer.
And you know what the best part is? You don't have to go out and become a marathon runner. Seriously. Simple, consistent aerobic exercise, we're talking a brisk walk, a fun bike ride, or a swim, has been proven to significantly boost memory, especially for older adults. The key isn't crazy intensity, it's just getting your body moving.
Moving on to our second strategy, fueling your brain. It's so true that you are what you eat, and that goes double for your brain. What's on your plate has a direct, and I mean direct, impact on your cognitive health. So what should you be loading up on? Think lots of colorful veggies, fruits, whole grains, and lean proteins. Omega-3s, which you find in fish, are like essential building blocks for your brain cells. And, recent studies are even pointing to the power of a green Mediterranean diet. That's stuff like green tea for slowing down brain aging. Our third tip is all about dealing with a silent threat to your memory, chronic stress. Look, some stress is just part of life, but letting it go unchecked, that can have some pretty serious consequences for your brain. Okay, so here's what happens. When you get stressed out, your body releases a hormone called cortisol. In short bursts, it's actually helpful. It's that fight or flight response. The problem is when it decides to stick around for too long. And this is the part that really matters. When stress becomes chronic, those cortisol levels stay high, and that can directly damage the hippocampus. Think of it as your brain's memory headquarters. So managing stress with things like meditation or even just deep breathing isn't just about feeling calm, it's about actively protecting your memory. Next up, let's talk about one of the most underrated but absolutely essential habits for a sharp mind, getting enough sleep. You might think you're just resting, but your brain is actually doing some of its most important work of the day. This chart shows you exactly why. While you're asleep, your brain gets busy with something called memory consolidation. It takes all those fragile, short-term memories you made during the day and transforms them into stable, long-term memories that you can actually use later. If you don't get good sleep, that whole critical process just falls apart. So, what's the magic number? Well, the science is pretty clear on this one. You want to aim for a solid 7 to 9 hours every single night. Seriously, stop thinking of it as a luxury. It is a non-negotiable appointment for your brain's health. And that brings us to our fifth and final tip, and it's summed up perfectly by that classic phrase, use it or lose it. Your brain is not a static thing. It's much more like a muscle, and it gets stronger when you give it a good workout with new challenges. And this doesn't have to be some monumental task. In fact, it's the simple things that work wonders. Try taking a different route on your daily walk. That forces your brain to map out new territory. Learn one new word a day. Or just play some games and puzzles that really make you think. Every single one of these little challenges helps build and strengthen new connections in your brain. So there you have it. 5 powerful, interconnected habits for a sharper memory. Move your body,
Fuel your brain, manage your stress, sleep well, and challenge yourself. Each one supports the others, and together they create this amazing foundation to keep your mind sharp for years and years to come. And that just leaves us with one last question. It's not about trying to do everything all at once. It's about just starting somewhere. So what's one small thing you're going to do to challenge your brain today?